Hello everyone. What is a false flag? What is the greatest ever false flag? Some people think that it could be the event that led to World War II, the Reichstag event, maybe even World War I with Duke Franz Ferdinand. Some people say it could be the Gulf of Tonkin incident, which the father of Jim Morrison from The Doors was the admiral who called in saying that they were being attacked. 9/11 to me has been the biggest false flag event that I have seen personally to date. But what if false flags don't have to be so visible? What if a false flag is something where the deception is so incredible that we all participate unknowingly, and not only participate, we actually cause the false flag to continue in its power and ability to do what false flags do, and that is to change the course of history and to change the future events based upon that. So today, I'm going to tell you what I think the greatest ever false flag in history was. And you're not going to believe me, because the majority of people that watch my videos and share my videos and get it out there, they are always going to believe that they are doing the right thing moving forward. Hello puppies, how are you? So right now, I know how pissed you are. I know how angry people are, and you're angry about a lot of things. And I want you to just take a step back for a moment and think about why you're angry. People may be angry about the last 3 years and what's happened with people, I wouldn't say so much forcibly, but being coerced to inject poisons into the body, of which now we have seen a lot of people die. A lot of people have complications from it. And quite rightly, all those that realise what's going on are royally pissed and angry at what's gone on and how it's allowed to go on in that regards. But to add to that, people are angry with the government, the leaders of the government, the people in politics that have been corrupted, the people in politics who are part of a World Economic Forum hell-bent on putting everyone in 15-minute cities and making people live a life where they will own nothing and be happy, while the power elite class hold all the cards. People are pissed at the fact that they're trying to bring out a digital ID. They're trying to digitalise the banks. People are pissed at the infiltration into the schools where our children are, where transvestites, drag queens, you want to call them, whatever, perverted people, are basically doing lap dances and grinding and doing sexual displays in front of children, whilst the infiltration of the teachers and the school boards are hiding this from parents and what's being taught in schools, to a point where when the parents find out, or a whistleblower from one of the school boards comes along, the message is not good. It always means that what they're being taught in school is the promotion of sexuality. And this is not something that should be done on young, impressionable minds. So quite rightly, with what's going on with this, and I can't even keep up with it, whatever this LBGT plus Q, and there's numbers in front of it now. I can't keep up with the amount of people who are coming out the woodwork wanting to identify as things, identify as a cat, shit in a litter box, whatever you may. So where am I going with this? You're probably wondering, okay, why is all this that he's speaking about got anything to do with a false flag? Right now, the people around the world who are angry are calling for the people in power who are corrupt, who are making all this happen, to be arrested. And we've got lawyers like Rainer Fulmick, we've got lawyers in the US, lawyers in the UK, lawyers in Canada, all around the world. People are doing whatever they can to use the law to the full extent to bring justice to the harm that these people are doing. Now, what I want you to think about is how happy you will be once we see Justin Trudeau arrested, Chrystia Freeland removed from power, once we see Joe Biden, the Clintons, everybody that's on Epstein's list for all the sick things that they have done. People want to see justice happen. People want to see these arrested, brought to justice. And that's exactly what's going to happen. But what you don't realise is this was always part of the plan. This was always what they wanted to do. Because this is the false flag that I'm talking about. You see, there's nothing more deceptive than using the people who have been deliberately angered to bring about the change that was always the plan. The plan may be decades old, it may even be centuries old in the planning. But right now what they need the people to legally highlight, bring forward all the bad and the corruption that's going on and overthrow it. And this is going to happen. And everyone out there who's been exposing what's been going on, the whole movement of exposing the shots, exposing the corruption, exposing the paedophilia, the dirty, nasty, horrible things in the world, exposing the reasons why we go to war, where people's children die. All these reasons have been deliberately placed there to create a massive emotional response from us all. And at the point where these people are arrested and removed from power will be the happiest days of the majority's lives, thinking that at last justice has prevailed and everything we have been fighting for has been worthwhile. What this is going to create is a massive void, because those who are going to be doing the arrests, those who are going to be removing these political puppets and actors and sick, dark, horrible people from the world are the very people who have controlled the same sick, horrible people for a long time. They are just as disposable as we are. Whether they know it or not, I don't know. But when they come for them and remove them, and we rejoice at the fact that good has prevailed, the void that will be left will be the fact that the world will be plunged into chaos because there will be no government. The banking system may be disappearing. They may even delve into religion and remove the preachers who have been doing such horrible things to the children. And all this will be exposed with it to further compound the fact that good is prevailing and removing these nasty people. But we must talk about the void and the void that is left. The void left will be filled by possibly somebody like the United Nations. Those who control this, those in the shadows, the real playmakers, you know, they control what seems to be a saving force at this point. And I think many people will welcome them with open arms in order to bring about the change. This system to stop all wars, to stop poverty, to stop famine and many other things sounds incredibly good. But the very saviors that create this are not for the people. You see, this is the original. The saviors will be the original and the still existing New World Order. And their plan, as I said, will be finally achieved through public demand, through our demand, through the fact that we are making the changes, and we think we are making the changes for good. This is the world's greatest ever false flag, and we are the ones unfolding it slowly. I'm not saying what we're doing is wrong, but what I am saying is be very careful what we create from the changes that we demand are made. And because of those changes, the world will change. And I do believe that those that step in with the solutions are going to be the ones that did create the problems in the first place. And we have all been used as a tool, a vehicle to facilitate exactly what comes about. They're going to offer you a one world currency system, albeit a digital system. Hi guys, how are you today? Yeah, it's a bit warm, isn't it? Stay in the shade. So this one world currency system, probably a digital currency after the corrupt banks who are rigging things. And all of a sudden they're going to let you know that everything was created out of thin air and money didn't really exist, and this was the main cause of the problem, but now we've got a digital currency that will solve it. So that's your one world currency. But not only that, the wars, the corruption, all the bad people that we took down, responsible for genocide and the deaths of millions and millions upon innocent people around the world fighting for what they thought was a good cause. They're going to tell you that there'll be no more wars, and that's going to be achieved through a central global governance, most likely through the United Nations, where they will pick good people to handle and manage the world on your behalf. Religion, the exposure of religion will bring about possibly a one world religion. And this can be achieved by unifying what already exists and convincing those within religion that they have been lied to by those that preach the words that they want you to hear for their own purposes and gains. So as we see all this change and all this happening, keep an eye on it. I think we are living currently in the world's greatest ever false flag. We're all actors in the stage in regards to this. And because of this, we need to be well aware of what we create moving forward. We need to watch who will fill the void. And maybe we should start making preparations to fill this void with good people. People we can trust. People who have the best interests of humanity at heart. And certainly not the offering that's put on the table by an already corrupt United Nations, Bank of International Settlements, and whoever else is involved with this. I want you to take this away and think about it. I want you to take this away and consider where we are heading and where the next steps in our lives are once we remove all the bad in the world from the positions of power and control. There are solutions to this, and I think technology could play a good part in this. I have suggested in the past that a system where we have people empowering themselves, and not only empowering themselves, but actually taking responsibility for what goes on. We don't need hundreds, thousands of people working in the government when we can become our own government. All we need to do is develop a system where people can go home at the end of the day and sit down with the smartphone and click on an app, and that app will open up to a government site. At that point, maybe we can see the following day's discussions, what is to be voted upon, what they are proposing we do to bring about change for better. And the beauty is, in the palm of your hand sits the ability to have your say. Not just have your say in voting, where you turn up at a school or a municipal building and put an X on a piece of paper to bring about the empowerment of the lesser of two evils based on whatever political party it is you choose to represent you. This can't go on anymore. And removing those political parties from the frame and putting the power back into the people's hands means that we then control our future. If the government, which has been dwindled down to a few good people, then becomes something where we have our say, and let's say, for instance, they want to vote on a war, you have the power to say no. And that's the end of it, because you employ them, and the people are the ones that should take back control of the world that we live in. We don't need kings or queens to be the rulers over us. We do not need to be governed. What we need is to have our voices heard. And in doing so, we will make the changes to move forward in a very positive manner. This is my solution to the void. And of course, it would be a work in progress as we move forward, but it's certainly a work in progress that we can all get involved with. The problems that we face today have come about because of our laziness, because of our ability to give our power away to absolute corrupt morons that have been hell-bent on destroying the world for their own personal gain, for their own financial gain, and probably for some satanic, sick and horrible reasons. But it is time. It's time, people. I want you to see the false flag that you are currently living, the world's greatest ever false flag, and prepare yourself for what's coming. And it will be nice to see the removal of these horrible people. But remember, the void that's left will be filled by those who have been pulling the strings for centuries. Give it some thought. Leave me the comments underneath this post. I'll come back to you on that. And hopefully together we can come up with the answers. Thanks for listening, everyone. It's been incredible. I do like doing these walks and talks. It certainly gets the words out of my mind. And if they're not put onto paper, they're put onto video. So if you think people need to hear this message, do yourself a favor, get it out there. I can do the videos, but I need you to share it. And if you share it, more people will become aware of where we are heading. More people will become aware of the world's greatest ever deception. The world's greatest ever false flag. So thank you very much. I'll speak to you soon. And stay tuned for another walk and talk. And I'll catch you later. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye now.